Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday wrap for today, December 7th, 2014. I hope you guys had a fantastic week. I know I did, and, to be honest, this is definitely a little bit later than I meant to get this video up, and there's a reason for that. This is up later because, the past couple of days I've been spent getting my sleep schedule back in order, and that usually takes me a couple of days, and I did that on Friday, which definitely took some energy out of me, and in the process, I wasn't able to get the Friday wrap up. I knew I was going to get up this weekend at some point, but to me, the most important thing was getting my sleep schedule fixed. It was really, really messed up, and it won't be the last time it's really, really messed up, but for now, that was the focus for me, and I'm glad it's fixed, and I'm feeling good, and I'm up early now, and I'm happy with where it's at. I actually discussed it at length at the last Project Zomboid, or two Project Zomboids ago, I think. I can't remember. But either way, it's neither here nor there, to be honest with you. I'm just glad it's all set. We will do some I do want to talk a little bit about D&D, and then we'll talk channel stuff, series stuff, and the usual, I guess. So we'll do D&D. So the D&D stuff is the same. We still haven't really had a big plot poke out. I will discuss it, I promise, when it happens. But the thing I realized I didn't think I talked about is what our party consists of. So let's talk a little bit about that. So we all know that I'm playing a gunslinger. I am playing a human gunslinger. And a gunslinger is an interesting class because it's not really OP, but my friend did some tweaks to make it pretty good. And I'm really enjoying the character. I'll discuss personality and stuff another time. But just think of him as like a stoic cowboy bounty hunter kind of cliche type as far as personality is concerned. We also have a druid in the party who is definitely right now his focus is like being a doctor. But as you know, if you know D&D, we play Pathfinder, so like 3.75. Druids are very, very powerful classes, and he will be very strong later on in the game. We have a swashbuckler. We have a warlord. It's like a modified version of the warlord, though. He can get into stances really quickly and stuff. And then we have for our final character is right now he's doing two classes. He's doing monk magus, and he's going to do a trip build. He's like a staff magus, essentially. He's going to be doing a lot of tripping and beating people as they hit the ground. It's an interesting group because we actually all work really well with one another. Like in combat, it works super well. I'm really far away, doing a lot of damage and picking people off from a distance, while we have 4 melee people taking care of everybody up front, and we have a healer in the back who will eventually be doing some massive spells to just destroy things. And even now, as it stands, he can do a lot of spells. But that's not what I wanted to talk about as far as D&D is concerned, because I know there are people who do want to hear me talk about D&D. When I said I want to discuss Dungeons & Dragons today, what I wanted to discuss was people always bringing up, Mathis, you keep talking about D&D. Is there videos on it somewhere that I don't know? And the answer to that is no. There are no videos. We don't record it. I just use the Friday wrap to discuss the story that's happening, so you guys can have a general idea as to the way the plot is and what's going on. And I have brought up to my friends, like, hey, people are actually interested in watching. Would you guys be okay, excuse me, recording the D&D stuff? And their answer to that was generally just no. And I understand that. That's not, part of me doesn't really want to record it as well, because I take Thursdays and Dungeons & Dragons as my day away from the computer and stuff. Though I wouldn't be adverse to recording it either. But, not everybody wants to be on camera. Not everybody wants to be in front of thousands of people being watched play D&D. And honestly, we play for like 5 or 6 hours at a time. Like Thursdays are the day we play, and we play for a long time. So recording that would be really, really difficult. And I thought about like, well, if I was to record it, how could I make it more digestible? The answer is you really can't. I could do editing, but that would take going through 5 or 6 hours of footage to get some editing going, to get it up on the screen. That would be just so hard. Yeah, that would be just, I don't know how I would make it. I wouldn't want to do any editing. I'd have to put it up, but like a 5 or 6 hour video, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. I guess I could cut it up into like 1 hour videos and spread it throughout the week. That's something that's possible. But I just don't understand. I don't know how that, for some people, maybe it is. I mean, I don't get it. I know JP McDaniel does stuff like role play and stuff, and he does a lot of D&D stuff, but they do it in shorter bursts, and they do a lot of variety stuff. But the way we play and stuff, and sometimes we take a little bit of a break, go grab food and stuff, I just don't know if it would be entertaining for people to watch. At the same time, too, I feel like subconsciously, if we were recording, I would end up putting on a little bit more of a, not that I put on a persona to record, but when I record video games, I obviously amp up my personality a little bit. I'm a little bit more energetic. I'm a little bit louder than I am in real life, just because I want to bring the entertainment value. I want to enunciate all my words. I want things to be exciting to listen to and to watch. But for D&D, I kind of just like to step away from the camera, to step away from the microphone, and just have a day off from it all. Is nice. And if I ended up recording, I feel like I would end up bringing that work mentality to D&D, which again, I love my job. It's not really work per se, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. There's nice to have a little bit of a break every once in a while. And that's something that, I do relish and do enjoy. Now, that all being said, if there was a future second campaign that I could get going, if I ever had time to do, where I could record it all, I would do it. I would figure it out. In fact, one of the things I'm trying to urge my friend to do that we discussed is he's such a D&D nut. Like, he loves Dungeons and Dragons. Like, to me, to video games is him to Dungeons and Dragons. He just adores the game, adores the rule set. He knows it, front to back. He knows multiple different rule sets. And for people who don't play D&D, he is a veritable endless fountain of knowledge of how the game works and how to DM properly and fairly and fun, making a story dramatic and intense and dynamic, but still maintaining elements of entertainment and humor. Like, he is one of the, if not the best dungeon master I've ever had, and I have a hard time having anybody else DM for me, to be honest, because he DMs in the style that I love so well that I don't think I'd ever want anyone else to DM for me. But beside that, I've been trying to urge him to get a channel going that discusses D&D, basic rules starting from the beginning with character creation, just like D&D tutorials, D&D beginning stuff, because I think people would watch that, and I think that you guys would really like that, and I'm trying to get him going with that. But of course, it does require equipment, camera, microphone, but I've already told him I would gladly bring my stuff over, and we could do like one or two videos before D&D starts, and we can get things going, and I can edit it and get it up there for him and stuff. Maybe even do like a test run on my channel, see if people would enjoy that kind of thing. But I digress. That's something I have discussed with him, and hopefully we can bring that to fruition at some point in the future. So there's that. That's D&D for you. The last thing I'm going to discuss, of course, is channel stuff. So right now, I have Game of Thrones, the Telltale game series, going up right now. It's only 4 videos because it's a short game. The 4th video going live tomorrow. This war of mine is going really well. The video I recorded today brings us up to day 30 or 31, and hopefully we'll be able to beat it. We'll get to the end of the war. I'm excited. I hope we will. We could probably even make it to the end of the war with the supplies that we have now. But other than that, we have Isaac still going. We have Project Zomboid still going. Art of War is still going. And I, of course, have a bunch of other games that have come forward that I need to do. Grimrock, I should have an episode up today or tomorrow for those who are excited about that. And then I've got access to the game Dead State. Dead State finally released, and I do want to cover Dead State. I do want to possibly do a series on Dead State. I've put about an hour into it so far, and I like it. I want to put a little bit more time into it before I decide whether I just want to do a Judge Mathis on it or do a full series. At the same time, too, I want to make sure there's a spot open for that. Chances are it would take where this War of Mine spot. I think that's the next game I'm probably going to end up finishing. Grimrock will be there somewhere. Isaac isn't going anywhere, though we may drop Isaac down to 1 episode a day fairly soon, so I can open up another slot for something else. It's all like just puzzle pieces, man. You take something out and you're going to go ahead and put something in its place, and sometimes you got to remove 2 things and put 1 thing there, and it's crazy, but that's how the time schedule works for this thing. And the other thing that I'm looking forward to, and I'm debating how I want to do it, is Elite Dangerous. So Elite Dangerous is something that I'm excited to go back to. The reason I haven't gone back to it is because they were rapidly going through new betas and stuff. But the game is officially releasing in 9 days. 9 days from today. The 16th is when we're looking at the release of Elite Dangerous. With it officially released, I can play it without worrying about losing progress, which is a lot of the reason I haven't actually recorded the game. So I've been thinking of ways I'm going to do that, and I don't think I'm going to make it a daily series. I think that'd be silly. I don't think I would have enough things to do it. We might be looking at a Grimrock situation where I'm only posting a couple of videos a day of it, but I'm going to do something. I was thinking along the lines of something like the Bounty Hunter Diaries or something, where because that's what I want to do. I want to bounty hunt in that game. So I'll only upload, like, do quick cuts and stuff of me hunting my target down, attacking my target, dying or fighting or whatever ends up happening, and just to kind of make it as exciting as possible. But because it would take a lot of editing and a lot of gameplay time, I will definitely only be able to put it up maybe once a week. But it is a game I'm definitely going to revisit when it officially does release, which I'm excited for. And I think that's it for series right now. We're luckily coming toward the end of the holiday rush. There's not a whole bunch of games coming out anymore. I've kind of touched on all the games that I wanted to touch. Far Cry, I'm not sure if I'm going to bring back or not. I kind of grew bored of it relatively quickly. I loved Far Cry 3 and I beat it. Far Cry 4 is kind of just more Far Cry 3, which is a little unfortunate. But I'm kind of going through my list of games right now, and though I got a ton of stuff over the holidays as far as like series-worthy games. There's not that many, at least that would fit on my channel. But I will discover things, and I guess that's the fun part of when the holiday game rush ends. Because now when I run out of new games to play, I'm forced to start digging for really kind of obscure indie games. And you kind of discover some of the best indie games that way when you're forced to be looking for indie games to cover. So, come January, February, I'll probably be digging pretty hard for something. But again, the next series to end definitively, I'm going to guess is this War of Mine. I feel like I'm very, very close to the end, and I look forward to beating it. I really do. I think it's going to be, it's been a fantastic run so far, and I'm looking forward to finishing the sucker off. But anyway, I guess we'll wrap this thing up. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic next week, and I will see you next Friday. Bye-bye.